Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are the Uncensored Anime Podcast. This is episode 19. We're your boys. I'm David. We got Kenny. We got Jerry. And today, we're back. We had, took a little break, some R&R. It's beginning of the year. We're taking things slow, but now we're planning on, hitting it back, getting back on the road, hitting you with new episodes every week. And today, we have a great episode. Jerry, what are we talking about today, boy?
Oh, shit. Yes, obviously, like David said, we're just people, and we don't have a huge following, so if we end up taking breaks throughout, that's just how it goes. So, that's how it goes. So hopefully we get back into a better groove of doing weekly again. We did weekly for about 16 weeks straight. So having a couple weeks of downtime, we got 2 episodes out over the last month and a half or 2 months. So that's fine. But we're hopefully going to get back into the swing of weekly again as we sort of transition into this season of anime. Today, we actually want to take some time to wrap up some of the shows that we watched last season. They're the two. So last season, if you watched our fall 2020 anime, sort of 13 new animes, we did decide of 3 anime we all wanted to kind of stick with. And that's what we're going with today. So we're going to talk about 2 of those anime as they have completed. So we're going to go ahead and review for you all our thoughts on 2 of those shows because they've finished. One finished its first season. It has been confirmed to get another season. The other is done. It's over. It's just a one and done sort of show. I don't think they plan to make any more of it. And then the third show that we did pick is sort of our top 3. It's still going, so we're going to wait a while to talk about that one, which is Jujutsu Kaisen. Obviously, everyone, if you're an anime fan, should be watching Jujutsu Kaisen. Right, guys?
Yeah, I got Troy to start watching it, and he loves it.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a shonen fan in any way, shape, or form, Jujutsu Kaisen is something you need to be doing right now. But beside the point, the 2 shows we're talking about tonight are going to be Akudama Drive and Tonikawa Fly Me to the Moon. They're 2 shows that when we kind of ranked out our 13 shows we watched, they were kind of the top 3 consensus for us here on the podcast. So we decided to wrap those up and wanted to give you guys a quick review of, well, not quick, it'll be a long review, an in-depth, uncensored review of those 2 shows. But before we get into those 2 shows, you know how we like to start it here on the Uncensored Anime Podcast. We want to talk a little bit about some anime news. We do it pretty much on every episode. We talk about some of the current goings on in the anime world, or just some of the stuff that people are talking about, or some of the stuff that people are bringing up right now in the anime world. So the first topic that is pretty prevalent right now is the Black Clover anime is ending. Boys?
Yeah.
Sucks to suck.
I mean, I like Black Clover. Like, I read the manga every week, and I don't think I don't think the manga is gonna go away anytime soon. It's sort of, I don't know, it hits this enjoyable, like I like to say, all gas, no brakes. Like, within about 4 chapters, you're in a battle again, and you're learning new battle moves, and new shit's going on. Like, and it doesn't really take time to sort of exposition too much or slow down too much. Even like in the middle of their training arc, they went away to have another battle to then have another training arc, and it was just like, and it's just fun. It's just raw shonen fun, and I think maybe it'll go to seasonal, maybe not. Maybe it'll just go away for some time and come back some other time. But I don't know.
Have there been filler arcs in the anime?
A little bit, to my understanding. Yeah. Not a lot, though. They've actually, I think they've done a pretty good job. I have been told that the anime was sort of on the verge of catching up with the manga at this point in time. Yeah. So I do wonder if that is sort of what was the major catalyst for this decision. But yeah. I mean, I don't know.
That's pretty impressive if they've gone a new episode every week without hitting that filler threshold.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Usually that's what happens.
So 17 episodes of the show are full filler.
Okay.
There are a couple episodes that are sort of like One Piece where they have implied filler, so they cover a small amount of content, but they have some like additional battle, but less than 50% of the episodes are filler. Less than 50% of those ones. So only 17 full filler episodes out of 170 total episodes of the anime.
That's not bad.
And to my understanding, it moves at a pretty steady pace, but I'm not sure exactly where. Let me see if I can find out super fast. Because Kenny, do you know how many chapters are out right now?
I don't know. I would have to just look at it.
You
Whatever
read
you
it every week.
I know, but I don't know. I just click.
He
on the
reads
new
like
one.
100 other manga every week.
Yeah. Damn it, Kenny.
I straight up read Shonen Jump every week. Basically.
Kenny's like,
if I lived in Japan, I would just buy the Shonen Jump. Oh, a new manga came out this week. Last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Oh.
One by the Assassination Classroom guy.
Oh, the one about the little.
Yeah.
What are they called? The samurais or something.
Yeah, it's like historical, vaguely. I think. I don't know a lot about Japanese history, so I assume it's historical.
Do you remember what it's called or no?
I don't know. I would have to look it up too. And then a new one came out about. I don't know who the author. I think she's new. She's a newer author, but it's like a detective agency, or they're like police officers, and she like falls. The way she finds the criminals is she falls in love with them.
Yeah, I read the same thing, but I can't find
Yeah.
it in my Viz app the name of it.
Yeah, I can go to Viz real quick.
Okay, so here's the deal. So Black Clover episode 160 covered chapters 234 and 235. So that means they're going to cover up to probably like chapter like 250, give or take, which is a pretty good pace for an anime that just sort of like didn't stop and only had 17 filler episodes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Only on chapter 280. That's the latest chapter.
Oh, dang, so they really were putting in work catching up.
Yeah.
Oh, dang,
Yep.
dude.
The one by the Assassination Classroom guy is The Elusive Samurai. And the new one by a new author is called I Tell C.
Yep, that's what it's called.
Both new on the Viz website. So.
That's pretty sweet. Well, yeah. So Black Clover coming to an end. I am pretty sure if I had to guess, I think there's kind of two routes it's either going to go. And that's either Pierrot will go full seasonal, which is sort of already a guess that a lot of people have. And that means that, next year we'll get another season of like 20 episodes or whatever. Or it pulls a fairy tale, which I don't know if you guys remember what happened with Fairy Tail's anime.
It just like stopped and then came back, right?
Yep, it would just like stop, and then like 2 or 3 years later, it would just come back and do another like 80 episodes, and then it would like stop again. And I think it did that 3 times. So it ended up, and what was weird about it is it actually got past studio. Like it didn't stay with the same studio for those 3 times. It was like different anime studios grabbing it each time, which was really weird. But yeah, it just kind of kept mushing around and ended up different places, and then eventually the whole story got adapted after X amount of time. But that's one direction. But I think that if Pierrot's smart, and just based off the way that Black Clover, I give Black Clover a lot of shit for kind of being like the redheaded stepsister of Shonen Jump right now, because it's just not as good as all of the other stuff on Shonen right now on Shonen Jump. But I can't deny that it does have a pretty good fan base, a strong fan base. I saw that Crunchyroll released some numbers recently, and they were like, yeah, Black Clover is one of our most streamed shows in a lot of countries. Like number 1 most streamed show in a bunch of countries. And I was like, oh, dang, that's pretty good metrics to look at and say, okay, at least people are watching it. That's really interesting. I think it's interesting that the anime has adapted so much of the manga already, that there's so little filler, that it's a good, seems to be good pace, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm interested. I hope that it just goes seasonal, and if not, I mean, it could just pull. I mean, Attack on Titan kind of went the route of like just ending and then kind of coming back when it felt like it.
Yeah. I think JoJo's did something like that too, where it was like 3-4 years between part 5 or part 4 and part 5.
Oh yeah,
let's not talk about JoJo.
JoJo.
JoJo's just kind of does whatever it does.
I mean, it's JoJo's.
There was David, I don't know if you know this, but between part 3 and part 4, there was it was a Tumblr account.
I thought it was between part 4 and part 5.
Yeah, part 4 and part 5, my bad. Yeah. Between part 4 and part 5, a Tumblr account was made, and every single day it would just update, and it would say, is Golden Wind confirmed? And it would say, no.
No.
And it did that for like, I want to say it took over a year and a half before they
all
confirmed
800 days or whatever.
So it took like a shit ton of days before they finally confirmed the new season.
Is there one for Stone Ocean?
I think so.
Same guy might be running one. Who knows? But he would count the days. He was like counting the days. It was honestly super funny. Because it was the easiest way. It was like people, anytime someone would ask, like, is Stone Ocean confirmed? Or is Golden Wind confirm, people would just link them to the Tumblr blog. It was like not even there was like, that was like he was the official news source on it. It was like if he didn't know
June 21st, 2018.
Yeah, if he didn't know, then nobody knew. Nobody knew. That was so. I really enjoyed that.
Do you guys think Studio Pierrot is kind of stopping Black Clover to focus on the Bloody War arc for Bleach?
That's a good question, especially because no studio has been confirmed for the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, to my knowledge.
Has
Pierrot actually come out and said that they're taking it?
Is Stone Ocean confirmed?
It exists. Stone Ocean. There you go, guys. If you're trying to find out if Stone Ocean is confirmed, there
554 days.
An official Tumblr blog. We are 554 days out from the last season ending.
Not confirmed.
Stone Ocean is still not confirmed.
I don't think there's been a confirmation on who's animating Bloody War arc.
Yeah, I hope it's Studio Pierrot, and it would be awesome if this is a. They said after the last episode of Black Clover airs, they have a special announcement to make. A lot of people think it's them saying like, "Oh, we're gonna go seasonal with Black Clover" or something. But what if it's way out of left field? What if it's literally like
nothing to do with Black Clover?
Yeah. What if it's like, surprise? We're excited that we've taken on Bleach for the season, so we can't focus on Black Clover for a while.
That'd be wild.
That would be crazy.
Or they're just gonna be like,
what, Kenny?
I expect them to be like, okay, we're going seasonal.
Yeah, I mean that's probably what it is. But I don't know. I think that it would be great because the guy, honestly, I don't watch Black Clover, but it's actually really, really well animated. Like Studio Pierrot has done a really good job with the animation on it. And now that it's over, it's only going to be 170 episodes right now. I might watch the anime all the way through. I've seen 11 or 12 episodes. I might go ahead and watch it just cause it's something to watch, kind of in the background over a couple of months. Mm-hmm. Might be fun to just knock it out over time and have it done, just to be prepped for whenever they do come back. Yeah. I mean, I've heard the anime does justice to the manga, so that's always good.
It's a good. I think it's a good watch. It's very formulaic. You don't watch Black Clover for the plot. You watch it for all the battles that are happening, because there's like a boss battle every 10 episodes. I think I've gone to like episode like 40, 45, and it's kind of cool because every like boss that they battle and beat, there's like a new opening. So it's like 13. I think they're on their 13th opening right now, which I don't know. It seems like a lot of openings just for 170.
It's a lot of openings for 170 episodes. Yeah. That is a lot of openings.
Yeah. So it's an enjoyable watch if you know what to expect going into it. I think that makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah, I don't think that I would go into it thinking it was anything more than just like an atypical battle shonen. I enjoyed the first 11 episodes that I did watch. I really did, and I always told myself like, "Oh, I'll get back to it." It's not bad enough to make me not like. It's not so bad that I won't watch it. Although I do still feel bad for it because it's much worse than Jujutsu Kaisen and Promised Neverland and Demon Slayer and Dr. Stone. Like to me, like
I agree with all those takes.
Legitimately good shows, and it's like Black Clover's like, we're here too.
I like Black Clover. Okay.
Yeah. Black Clover's like, we're a manga and an anime. Look,
it's fun.
Got big swords. Got magic.
We got big swords. We got buff guys. Look at our buff guys.
Asa looks so weird buff. He's like he's so short. And he's just like this
Asa.
Big sack of potatoes running around.
Christ.
Come on, that's his redesign. God. Don't you want a time skip where they just make the character really, really buff?
It doesn't. It looks weird.
He's out here looking like Jonah Hill, bro.
But yeah, that's exciting that they have some new manga and Jump as well, though, Kenny. I forgot that happened. Is anything else coming to an end soon? Do you know, Ken?
I don't know. A couple mangas that are just not doing well have ended. Like newer ones. I think Mori King ended a couple weeks ago, and
they got canceled or whatever.
Roboco maybe. So I don't know. But I'm excited about the Elusive Samurai because I liked Assassination Classroom. I read all of that. I think Assassination Classroom came to a really good ending. Like he ended it like finitely, so it was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I think everyone really likes that author for the most part between the work that he's done. Did you know that he was I think I read the other day that he was an assistant on Bobobo, I think. Which is really funny. I was like, I have to confirm that. I had someone call me out in the comments for saying something wrong on our last podcast. So, I was like, you son of a bitch. So nobody call me out if I'm wrong.
Get in the comments, okay?
No, if I'm wrong, do not call me out. I apologize, but I thought that I read the author of Nogami Neuro and Assassination Classroom had previously been an assistant for the author of Bobobo. I don't know the author's name for Bobobo. I'd have to look it up, but I don't even know the author's name for Neuro and Assassination Classroom off the top of my head. But
is the anime adaptation of Assassination Classroom well done?
It's the whole thing.
Yeah, they did the whole show.
Okay.
Yep. Unfortunately, his prior show Neuro only had one season and then didn't come back for another season. So you would have to read the manga for the full series of that. Majin Tantai Nogami Neuro. But Assassination Classroom, they adapted the entire manga into the anime, which is really nice.
Okay.
Yeah, Yusui Matsui, who was is an assistant to Yoshio Sawai, who was the manga artist of Bokubo.
Look, hey,
Jerry, we fact checked you. You were right. Good job, man.
Yeah, so nobody call me out in the comments because I was right, son of a bitch.
His favorite manga series include Bokubo, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and Ultimate Muscle.
Yes, dude, I love that. I love to hear that stuff. Well, that's great that he's got another manga, and I hope that people enjoy this one, and I hope that he gets to go as long as he'd like. Just because everything's kind of feels like things are just so shifty and jump right now that it just feels like everything's on the cutting block. Like, if you told me Dr. Stone was ending, I wouldn't even be surprised. I would just be like, well, guess the other one's gone. Like, everything feels like it's on the cutting block lately. Like, we just lost Haikyuu, we lost Promised Neverland, we lost Demon Slayer. Like, it's just constant cuts going on in Jump. So I wouldn't even be surprised if we lost more stuff in the coming days. But I do think that Jujutsu Kaisen, Black Clover, and One Piece, I saw a thing where people are kind of assuming that those three shows are going to kind of lead Jump moving forward. And
Mappa came in with the Jujutsu.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Jujutsu Kaisen and Black Clover and One Piece kind of became sort of the front runners of the magazine moving forward, which is really cool. All right, boys.
Yeah. I think there's a couple newer mangas that are exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I heard some people talking about.
I mean, I'm a fan of Hardboiled Cop and Dolphin.
Is it called Mashal, maybe? I haven't read it yet.
No, fuck Mashal. Okay, Mashal's bad.
Mashal, Magic and Muscles.
I feel like they're trying to push Mashal and Undead Unluck. Those are two of the ones that are...
Undead Unluck. Okay.
I feel like Undead Unluck and Mashal are getting pushed a little bit as front runners for the magazine as well. But, we'll see.
I like Undead Unluck. It's a good idea. I don't know how much the character designs are kind of like, I don't know, you just don't expect them to be liked in shonen manga. Mashal is knockoff One Punch Man, and it's bad for it.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Literally, the main character is just really buff.
Dang, good job, Kenny.
He's buffing what?
There he is. Kenny, can you just tell us how buff he is, dude? Buff Carell, dude. Freaking Buff Carell.
Buff Carell.
Buff Kenny Carell, dude.
There's my one, bro.
Drop of the night. Kenny's drop of the night, everyone.
Oh my god.
Get in the comments if you were excited to see Kenny's drop of the night. Kenny just dropped.
Kenny didn't have those diamond hands.
Go ahead and get in the comments down below. Type in the time when Kenny drops out of the call, guys.
God damn it. But yeah, Mashal, the dude is just buff, and they're like mages, and so his granddad was like a big mage. He's like, instead of teaching him magic, I just taught him to be really fucking strong. And so he just punches all the mages, and that's it. That's the plot.
The art's kind of bad too.
Yeah, the art's kind of bad.
It's made to look like One Punch Man, it feels like.
It's like off-brand One Punch Man. That's
yes,
sad.
Bro.
That's sad. That's fine, but I do feel like they're pushing it a little bit with Undead Unluck. But I'd like to try those at least a little bit before they become animes, because they'll probably get animes in the next couple years.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm mainly excited for Chainsaw Man's anime, which Chainsaw Man will come out this year.
Have there been any updates on that?
Nope, just Mappa in 2021. That's all we know.
Okay.
So no date or nothing.
Probably.
Jujutsu Kaisen came out winter, or no, it came out fall.
Yeah.
So I guess
I assume they're not going to go against My Hero, so I don't think it'll drop in the spring. I don't think we'll get it for the spring season.
Yeah.
Right.
My guess is we're either going to get it. I bet we're either going to get it in summer or the fall. Could even be as late as the winter, just depending on what's going on. It could be winter 2021, which would be really interesting. Which is technically winter 2022. But we'll see if that happens. But I would like to see it by the fall. That'd be nice. I don't think anything else will be in the fall to go against. So I think that'd be a good time for it to drop.
Yeah, they're working on like 4 or 5 things right now.
Who, Mappa?
Yeah, they're working on Attack on Titan, Oh wait, Gymnastic Samurai finished, but Jujutsu, Attack on Titan. Okay, I might have lied. Just 2 things.
Why is he doing this to you? Why is he doing this to you?
Two's fine. Two's
fine. I mean, those are both great shows that are on right now. So,
agreed. Okay, so I do feel like there's one other topic that is simmering through the anime community right now, and I don't think that it's a particular. I feel like it's getting drowned out a little bit, but I do think it's still getting some buzz. And it is a new anime that we missed completely, boys. And I don't know why we totally missed it during our.
Let me be clear, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't watch hentai, okay? I don't watch hentai as a new. It's not a new anime. You can't say it's a new anime. It's a hentai.
No. So that's the thing about this show.
Hentai, okay?
This show is getting publicized like it's a normal TV anime. And that's the big thing about the show. It's an adaptation of a manga, or there was a light novel that got adapted to a manga that is now being adapted into an anime. You know, the basic process, this happens all the time with a series like this. It's a dark fantasy. And here's the deal is that I think that at its core, it's a terrible story. It's poorly written, and it's not good.
Well, Jerry, in hentai, they have bad stories, okay?
Yes. But it seems like a lot of people are really into it because it sort of has that appeal. So you guys know, like, Punisher, right?
Yeah.
You guys know, like, the story of the Punisher, right? David, you know, right?
Sorry, I'm reading.
Quit looking it up. No,
I'm reading about it.
Damn it, he's reading about it.
Oh, damn. Okay, the Punisher, yes. Okay. I'm focused. So Punisher, yes.
We know the Punisher, right? And what makes the Punisher so interesting is, like, his family was murdered, so he murders people.
Yeah,
like,
he's got to get that revenge.
Right. John Wick 1, 2, and 3. The whole story is about revenge. It's a revenge fantasy. I mean, it's literally what those shows are. Generally, when we do revenge stories in popular culture, those revenge stories are focused on violence. They're violence-focused revenge stories. And generally, those are pretty well accepted as as fiction. You know, I think people are like, oh yeah, revenge violence is fine. So why people are trying to condone Redo of a Healer, by the way. I don't know if I said the name of the show. Redo of Healer is the name of the show. The reason why they're trying to condone it and try to give it some... I don't know what they're trying to give it. They're trying to talk it up like it's legitimate. Like there's like some legitimacy to it, but like to me, like it's pretty irredeemable as a show. Like it just doesn't seem to have any. It doesn't seem to add any value into the world. Is where I'm at with it, and it is a revenge story, and you know the main character did suffer, and that's the whole setup. I mean, you can't tell a revenge story without suffering and all this stuff, right?
Did you watch the episode, Jerry?
I saw episode 1 and 2, and I watched the uncensored first 2 episodes. So I've seen the first 2 episodes. Episode 4 just came out. I also watched the first 2 episodes censored as well, just to see the differences between the censored and uncensored versions. Mm-hmm. Episode 1 is not too bad when it comes to like the gratuitous sex. Essentially, the best way to put it is it's a revenge story, but instead of violence, it's sex. The main character, Kearu, was raped and beaten and all this other stuff in the beginning of the story, right? Yeah. And then
in the fiction world, it's called non-con or non-consensual sex. Okay.
Well, no, it was rape. He was raped.
It's called non-con whenever it's about whenever it's fanfic for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay. But. So, you know, he gets all this shit done to him because he has this special healing power. Here, I'll give you guys the plot synopsis, and for those of you listening.
All right. Okay.
He has a special healing, and I'll go, trigger warning, sorry, because I already said it. Fuck. If you're listening and you don't want to hear anything about fantasy involving rape or anything like that, then bail now. Skip ahead in the podcast, because we're going to talk about the show, and it is pretty heavy trigger warning about the content of the show, because I'm not going to be super gratuitous about it. But I'm going to at least briefly touch on it. So if this freaks you out, go ahead and skip out. Okay. Context of the show. He is a healer. He's born as a healer. When you heal in this fantasy world, especially the type of healing he does, it causes him physical pain. Okay? He is taken in by a local sort of like kingdom, and the kingdom wants him to keep healing their hurt warriors over and over, but he can't deal with it. It's very painful, right? Mm-hmm. So they beat and rape and manipulate and get him addicted to drugs and force him to continue healing the people in his brigade or in this kingdom. Many years go by in this situation, and he's slowly building up his levels, and he ends up at one of their biggest battles. Everyone's defeated against the Demon Queen or Demon King, whatever it was. He shows them that he actually has mastered alchemy, and he defeats the Demon King and gets the Philosopher's Stone. And using his healing power, he's able to heal the earth and turn it back in time, but still retain his memories. So he goes back in time to before he was taken by the kingdom, but still has his memories of the shitty shit that these people did to him. Okay? So from the moment he arrives back in time, he does everything in his power to be strong enough so that when he goes to the kingdom, he can overpower them and return the favor. That's the show. That's the show.
So
the remainder of the episodes are him going to certain people and enacting his revenge on them. And in the censored version, all of the revenge is pretty much cut out. It's just like deadpans. Like, it doesn't even like try to blur it out because it's like legitimate hentai. It goes full hentai mode when he goes into revenge. Like full blown hentai mode. And I won't go into detail of what happens, but it's pretty wild if you watch the uncensored version. But the censored version, it just like pans to a wall and just like it just like stays there for like 5 minutes and then just cuts back to the episode. It's really weird. I don't know why they didn't just cut it out completely.
Yeah.
I'm super confused why they went with that option. But yeah, so that's the context of the show. And I'm just not sure that it is a to me, this is a what's the word for it?
It's a bad hint.
It sounds like a
yeah.
Like, first of all, it just sounds like a shitty plot.
It's
like,
degenerate revenge porn. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So,
and you know, I don't know if people in the anime community are like jokingly saying like, "Oh no, it's good, stop," or if this is like some sort of gag, or if they're trying to make light of it. I'm not sure why people are reacting the way that they are.
Yeah, I mean, I remember how people did with Goblin Slayer, and Goblin Slayer is not as gratuitous as this, but it definitely was.
No,
that portion of Goblin Slayer was not needed, right? You could cut that out and just have it assumed, or like
right.
It didn't add anything to the overall.
Yeah, it doesn't add.
And I mean, I only watched like a quarter of Goblin Slayer, but other than that first scene in that first episode, it's not like.
Again.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I didn't think it. I was like, it pretty much becomes a regular fantasy series.
Yeah. It's like gory after that, but yeah, as far as like the rape scenes in Goblin Slayer, it's just like episode 1, maybe 2.
That's so weird that they even, and that's another weird example. And yeah, there was a lot of people that were up in arms. Goblin Slayer, also, in my opinion, it's not a very good show. Take that scene out or not, it's just not a very well written show, in my opinion. I don't think it's got a lot to offer. It's the most basic of like, this guy's family was killed by goblins, so now he kills goblins forever. I mean, that's
Jerry,
all it is.
You didn't even get into the deeper theming of that. Actually, he's just like a goblin.
He's
going around killing all the goblins.
But the thing with Goblin Slayer, there's nothing very like deep happening there. It's very like surface level of what it is.
And that's the same thing I feel about this redo of Healer, but I feel like it's even worse. Like I can't comprehend what has compelled anime fans to defend this show. Like,
so are people actually defending this show?
Oh yeah, 100%. People are trying to defend it as if it's some sort of like work of art. Like this is some sort of masterpiece or like some sort of. Oh, Kitty.
Just a hint. It's just a hentai.
And it is. I mean, it is. It's revenge porn. Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's even weirder because it's like, so some more context. I don't want to spoil the show, but the main character is a male. The character so he was tortured. The character that tortures him, the characters that beat him and tortured him, surprise, surprise, they were all women.
Trolls.
So it was a man that was tortured by women for years and years and years, and now he's getting his revenge on these women. And I'm like, doesn't that just seem... That's just right? Like,
yeah.
Maybe the author's beard grew out of their neck.
It grew all the way out, and he was like, yes, I finally discovered the show that's going to get me famous.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure. I guess what I'm getting at is I don't think the author is confused about what they're writing. I think they know they're writing smut. Like, I
Yeah.
think they understand that. I think what I'm confused about is why the anime fan base is trying to defend it as some sort of legitimate piece of fiction and not just what it is, which is, I mean, it's just pornography.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's what I think is getting to like it's starting to like weigh on me. Cause like, if you enjoy it for what it is, go for it. Like, I don't care. Like, you can enjoy whatever you want in your free time. Like, just understand that like, this is not like an anime series. Like, this is not, I don't know. So I it's gotten under my skin. But yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes and I watched the uncensored version, and it's something.
Yeah,
It's something.
I mean, so with
I would not encourage the faint of heart to watch the uncensored version. If you want to watch the censored version, you can watch it on High Dive, which is an official streaming service. So if you want to watch it, it is available through an official American avenue. They have an official streaming service, High Dive. So they're licensing it and subbing and dubbing the whole show. As of now, they haven't bailed on it. So they're on board.
I mean, that show alone is probably giving them a lot of traffic.
Yeah, they're probably getting a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly, I signed up for High Dive to watch the censored version.
Wasn't it originally on another platform and it got removed?
No, not this one. No, this one, High Dive got it from the jump. No one would touch that with a stick, honestly. Like, Crunchyroll and Funimation didn't want that kind of traffic.
What was the show that got removed?
You're thinking of another show that is very similar, Interspecies Reviewers.
Oh, yeah.
And I think have we briefly talked about it on here before?
I think it was mentioned before, yeah.
Yes, Interspecies Reviewers came out about this exact same time last year. And Funimation originally had picked the show up, Interspecies Reviewers. And the context of that show is much different. It's a comedy series about a bunch of bros visiting fantasy brothels. So they go to these like sex shops that are run by different types of fantasy creatures, fairies, cat girls, yada, yada, yada. And they review them. They write like comedic reviews about their experiences there. And the manga is not super, I would say the manga is ecchi. There are lots of like kind of sexualized components, but there's really not any like full blown sex scenes in the manga. But the anime kind of surprised everyone because they added in like full blown sex scenes with the cat girl or with the fantasy girls. And Funimation, by the time they got to like episode 3 or 4, there was like a very specific sex scene that was added in that wasn't really in the manga in that way. That made Funimation go, hell no, we're not doing this no more, and they dropped it.
Who animated it?
I don't remember the name of the company. It's probably one of those degenerate companies. It may be the same one doing Redo of Healer. No, I'm joking. That'd be funny though. But yes, so Interspecies Reviewer got dropped by Funimation. Nobody else picked it up. It did kind of faded into obscurity. But a lot of people, and me, maybe me included, I kind of would defend Interspecies Reviewers to a degree. It is not just smut to be smut. It's actually like kind of a topical comedy about sex work and about fantasy characters. And it's not particularly good either, but at least it got a lot of laughs out of me. Like when I watched it, it's pretty funny. If you're into fantasy like series and you know all these fantasy worlds, it's got a lot of really good jokes, like things that are pretty funny, and they use the concepts of each of these characters. I don't know. I'm not trying to defend Interspecies Reviewers either. It is certainly also got some elements.
That plot alone sounds much more interesting than what's in
Redo of Healer.
Redo of Healer. So
yeah,
I'd be more interested in watching that than the Redo of
Healer.
Healer.
Interspecies Reviewers to me is still watchable. It is certainly borderline hentai for most of the additional scenes that they kind of added from the manga. I read some of the manga and I really enjoyed the manga though, because it's much more toned down. So I would encourage anyone, if that sounds funny to you, certainly check it out. It's at least a good romp, and a lot of fun, and doesn't feel like just hentai to be hentai, which is what Redo of Healer kind of feels like.
But something to add to that. So just saying, just because something's hentai doesn't mean it's bad, like art or like art form or story,
right?
But just to put that out there, but this story that you explained to me, Jerry, sounds like ass. So
no.
Apparently the animation is very bad too. Is the animation?
It's not as bad. It's probably like the most high, like best animated hentai I've ever seen. I don't know if that's
that,
the guy.
is that saying a lot? Or
No.
More people need to get into the good hentai business, okay?
The good.
Studio Mappa needs to start releasing good hentai.
Yeah.
with Studio Hentai?
No. Kenny said, "What if Mappa made hentai?"
No, I'm saying what if Wit Studio made hentai?
Okay, what about David
Wit
Productions?
Studio.
Yeah.
Yo, David
Productions, all men.
David
hentai.
Productions? Oh my god.
Yeah, they should start doing yaoi.
Guys,
Actually,
I
they should
don't
do JoJo's characters.
But yeah,
God.
all I'll say, I think to wrap this up, if you're one of those people out there that watched Redo of Healer and you were like, "Oh, this is a work of art. This is something that I've got to go on the internet and defend," just stop, please. Like,
You're wrong.
just don't do it anymore.
How does it feel?
Like,
You're wrong.
I don't know what else to say. Like, just stop doing that. Just admit what it is and accept that you enjoy it for what it is. That's fine. You can enjoy it for what it is. I don't care. I think that it's a little bit odd and maybe a smidge misogynistic and a little not gruesome. The word I would use is maybe it's a little
Gratuitous?
not even inappropriate. Obviously it's inappropriate. Gratuitous. Yeah. Thank you, Kenny. It's a little gratuitous, a little aggressive with its approach.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy it for what it is, fine. Enjoy Redo of a Healer. I just want to let you know that it is. If you watched episode 2 uncensored and you didn't finish that episode and go, "This is hentai," then I'm concerned for you. Like, I'm concerned if you watched that and thought, "Oh yeah, this is just a regular show." And I'll admit, and here we go. Let me try to put some perspective because I was thinking about this.
Okay.
We've all watched Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones has a lot of gratuitous sex scenes. I mean, I'm going to be upfront, right? There were at
Twins
least,
literally rape each other.
I feel like in the first episode or first season for sure, you see some pretty major sex scenes.
Yeah, they do some weird.
You see full on nipple. You see full on sexual intercourse occur on Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones is potentially I would argue that Game of Thrones is a piece of literature that does add something to the genre that it's in. I think it really does. I think it is going to be considered a very definitive piece of literature. I think you can have gratuitous sex and gratuitous violence in a series that is well crafted. Okay? Redo of a Healer is not that show. Don't die on the hill that is Redo of a Healer. Please don't die on this hill.
Out of all the hills, I feel like that'd be the worst one to die on.
And it's because the plot of Game of Thrones is not focused on the gratuitous sex or the gratuitous violence. There are aspects of the show, but that's not what's going on. Redo of a Healer is about a guy enacting his sexual revenge on women that I raped and beat him for years. That's the plot. That's the plot of the show.
Yeah.
What if it's like an incel like connection? Like that's what these women get for not wanting to. I don't know. That's probably a
yeah. I want it to not be that. I've heard some people already try to draw that comparison, and other people be like very like, we're not incels for liking this. I don't. It's whatever. It's whatever. You can enjoy the show, but it's just it's weird to me that people are trying to defend it as something that it's not, and I don't think it's something that the author doesn't think that it is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at with this show. It's like I don't think the author of this series sat down and was like, "You guys better take this as a serious piece of art. This is serious work." Because if they did, I don't think they would have been
boobies.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, exactly. I don't think that he was trying to accomplish that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've completely misread the situation. Maybe this guy really thinks his story is the best story ever, and he really wants his fans to defend it. And this is fans rising up saying, "Look at this. It's beautiful." And if that's the case, I apologize to the author, but at least in the first 2 episodes, he has not accomplished a comprehensive or in any way interesting storyline, aside from being a potentially compelling pornography. That's where I've landed with it. But it's interesting because it's all over the internet right now.
Yeah, I want to see it just to fully understand like the severity of like what's happening with that show.
At the very least, if you're willing, it's not too hard to stomach the censored version, just because like all of the sex is taken. It's not taken out, but it's either covered up or it just pans away when the sex is happening. So you can kind of watch the censored version and still kind of understand what's up. The uncensored version is something else. So
All right. Well,
This is my copy of A Clash of Kings right here. You can see it on camera.
No.
we got a real George R.R. Martin fanboy over here.
A real Thronesy in here.
Yeah.
I do have all the books.
I will tell you boys, you should check it out if you're bored. I might watch the 3rd and 4th episodes just for kicks. But we'll see if I do. If I watch any further, I kind of episode 2 kind of burned me out.
You'll watch that, but you won't watch X-Arm.
Nobody ever watched.
It's a little sus, Jerry.
If you are listening to this, never ever click X-Arm. Okay,
X-Arm is.
I'm on episode 4.
I'm saving you from
David. How have you kept?
20 minutes?
How can you stomach that? How can you stomach watching that show?
I hate myself. So
that's 20 minutes.
What's wrong with a little,
you dirty sick bastard?
What's wrong? A little self-torture, okay? That's all it is.
I watched 2 episodes of Redo of a Healer, so.
And you said it's on High Drive?
High Dive is and I did make an account. If you guys want to use it, not you guys at home listening.
You guys at home, if you want to get on Jerry's High Dive,
leave a comment in the video.
No, but if you guys want to use High Dive, you can. I signed up.
All right.
Yes, that is the way to go if you want to watch it, censored at least. Okay, let's shift gears. We use a lot of news time here, so let's talk about which one you guys want to start with.
Let's do Tonikawa.
I thought
start with
Tonikawa.
Oh, let's do Akudama Drive.
What? You just jumped? David said, "Oh,
I do think of the two, I think Tonikawa was better. So I think going from Akudama Drive is still really good, but going from good to great, I think we can do that.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed Akudama Drive, how it put things together, and not sort of how they finished it off.
Agreed. Let's get into it then.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Akudama Drive. It's an anime. It's an anime exclusive show made by the creators of a handful of the creators of Danganronpa. You can tell that a lot in the transitions and the character designs, and the way that sort of style of the best at something. Each character is sort of defined by that trait.
Also, spoiler warning, just real quick for Akudama Drive.
And I'm going to do a quick synopsis of the show. It is about a handful of Akudama who are criminals who get tasked to do this job by a cat that turns out to be this sort of boy that was created in a lab who is immortal. And it's all about getting him and his sister to a sort of safe place from these bad guys who are the executioners or the police force or, this sort of human AI conglomerate that is Kanto or Kansai. I don't remember which one was which. And it's about the story of each of these characters sort of accomplishing this goal. And in Danganronpa fashion, we don't get to maintain these characters throughout. Actually, I don't think any of them make it to the ending. But yeah, it's sort of So that's sort of the quick synopsis of what Akudama Drive is.
Yep, everybody dies, and then that's it.
Yeah,
life sucks. That's the theme of Akudama Drive. Life sucks. Don't be poor.
I think that's Danganronpa 1 sort of fell into that trap where just a lot of characters that you really like and enjoy die too quickly, and they're just gone. And you're like, well, shit. Like,
why did Brawler have to die first?
I don't know. He dies on episode 4, and then we lose Hacker for 6 episodes, and then he's just back, and then he dies.
Yeah.
And I think that you need to spend more time with all the characters together. And I just really didn't like that the female executioner who sort of is supposed to have a character arc just sort of doesn't, she never finishes her arc. Yeah. She just is I don't know, she protects her partner, her new partner, and then, but it doesn't it doesn't have her come to the conclusion that the executioners are evil and the Akudama are good, or vice versa. It just, I don't know. She comes to no conclusion, it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't like that, we get rid of Hacker so quickly, and then he just is back, and then he's dead. Like, he does his thing, and then he's dead. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Brawler dies super quickly, and then I think Doctor's betrayal wasn't very, like, it came out of left field. Like, I didn't expect it, but then she sort of did nothing with it, you know? Like, she betrayed and then got off and then ended up not being off. And
yeah. I never really understood her motive.
Yeah.
She even, like, explicitly stated what her motive was, and I still didn't really get it, because she was doing all, like, Doctor was just all over the place. She was probably my favorite character, though.
David. But she had big titties.
Oh my god!
Big old.
But
so
she
David's gonna watch all redo Healer after this.
Oh my god!
I don't know.
Oh, that's my cat. I gotta give him a cat.
No. Kenny pretty much. David, come on. Kenny pretty much nailed it. I think with the, with just the way that this show. I feel like I need to go check the old episode that we did when we first watched Akudama Drive. I'm pretty sure I said something to the extent of, this show has a lot of promise in episode 1. It had a lot of opportunity there, really good setup. And I said, my biggest worry, I have to go find the exact quote, but I'm pretty sure I said something like, my biggest worry is that the middle of this show drops off and the ending sucks. And honestly, guys, I think that this show really shit the bed. I think that it did exactly what I was scared was going to happen. And
did we lose Jerry? Are you still there, David?
The show,
I'm here.
It just fell apart. Like, they just slowly, it kind of just started. You guys know how, like, a thread just slowly starts spinning and spinning as you, like, pull it. I mean, the show just kind of it spun out of control.
Yeah. It's
to the point where
yeah.
Sorry, you froze for a second.
You cut out in the middle, bro.
Oh, shit.
We were gonna pretend like you didn't.
But Jerry, I agree. I remember all of us for that first episode. We were like, this show is hype as fuck. We don't know where it came from, but we're excited, and I was very, very excited. I think.
Me too.
I think I we all gave it a thumbs up that we were going to continue watching it.
Yeah, we put it in our top 3 because of the season. It really was, from just the first episode, it really was one of the best shows of the season. I mean, arguably. Did it end up... I feel like this... And you guys, what do you guys think about this? I feel like where the show started to go downhill, the first half of the show is actually still pretty solid. Yeah. I feel like right after the fight between Brawler and the... what are they called, Kenny? Damn,
they're executioners.
Executioner. The male executioner where they killed each other.
He was a master, execution master.
And Hoodlum whacked the girl in the eye and then ran off. That is when the show started to go downhill. That's when the show didn't know what to do anymore.
Yeah.
That felt like sort of a mini climax, and then everyone's motives, what everyone did after that, it all just felt like unclear. It didn't feel like they knew what they wanted to do anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why. I'm not.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think that should have happened on like episode 7 or 8.
Right. I think that there was much more they could have done with the characters before we got to that miniature climax. And then they just kind of, I mean, they didn't really rush to the end, but a lot of stuff just sort of happens in the back half, guys. Yeah. Like, Kenny and me both kind of agreed, Cutthroat, while ended up kind of being the most consistent character.
Yeah. I think
weird. How did that character
was oddly the most consistent?
Yeah.
He was totally insane from the beginning.
Maybe Courier to an extent as well.
Courier too. Yeah.
But I felt like all the other characters' motives were all over the place. The female executioner, the what Kanto wanted, the just the development of the kids was a little bit messy. Yeah. Their end goal, I mean, the whole story just sort of started to fall into pieces as we started to learn that these kids were vessels to house a virtual super heaven is what I mean.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wanted there to be more context into that because I think it was just one episode where we got like a view into that whole thing, and I wanted to know why was that happening? Like, who was the organization making that? And we'll never know. It's
it felt like it was just a MacGuffin placed there so that Hacker could be the one that saves them there, right?
When you said that, Kenny, I was like, that's it. I mean,
it was placed there because Hacker had to be like, they were like, I don't know how to finish Hacker. I guess like it's a computer.
Yeah,
and, like,
I guess it's a computer.
And that was sort of it, like.
And I was like, what? Does that mean those talking? And that's something like I kept asking. Does that mean the talking heads that talk to the leader of the executioners is like is people in the computer?
Computers? I guess
like, are those heads like Kanto heads, like
AI,
or are they somewhere else in Kanto? Yeah, are they AI? Then does that mean all of humanity is being managed by AI? And also just like their reactions to uprisings and God, the whole show just the first half was so cool, and there was so much cool stuff going on about these characters, how they were molded, and then it just slowly just.
Yeah, I think the remaining pieces of the show would have been like amazing if there weren't so many gaps in information, because we were introduced to all of these things and we never got answers, and so when the ending happened, we're like, wait, that's it, and so and like it was kind of like why did Swindler become Jesus at the end?
I don't know.
Why
David,
she was like,
how did she never had a moment like there was never a moment that led me to believe she became who she was supposed to come. Like, where was her come to? Like, how did she get there? Like, just by existing in the background of all these other scenarios, she just magically has shifted personality, and now she's confident and assured of herself, and that she is an Akudama. And are we all Akudamas? That was like a theme. Remember that?
Yeah. Police, normal people, everybody.
They're just people who do what they want or whatever. That was like the big
one of my least favorite lines. They're on like the blimp or something, and it's like it's the lady executioner and her new partner, and they're taking the little boy to the Kanto or to the train to take him to Kanto, and the little boy says something along the lines of like, you guys are just Akudama, but with nice uniforms or something like that. And I was like, oh, theming. I see.
Yeah. In my eyes, you guys are the Akudama. Yeah. And they're the good guys.
I was like, oh, they didn't want us to imply or infer anything. They're just going to throw it right in our face.
This is something that upsets me. And a handful of different mangas do this, where just give the characters names. Just give them names.
Yes.
Yeah. Right?
Honestly,
Just name them. Don't they're titled or whatever. Like I've read a handful of different manga where it's just like, oh, this is Swordsman. This is Swordsmaster. And you're like, just give them names. Just name them. Right? Just give them names.
It's such a small thing, and it's probably nitpicky, but that's like one of my biggest pet peeves is when characters aren't given like an actual name.
You could give them their cool code names or say that they're the best at this or whatever, like they do in Danganronpa, but everybody has a name. And I don't know. I just, it wouldn't have been that big of an issue if, like, they started, until it was like, oh, it's brother and sister and the executioner girl doesn't have a name. Everybody is just called executioner. And you're like, okay, just give them names.
Yeah.
Just name them.
I don't know. I just this had so much promise, and it just fell apart. I mean,
I will say that the animation was pretty crisp, though. It looked really good.
It looked great.
Gotta say, episode 1, the last episode, animation looked great. The music was really awesome.
Great.
Really great composition, and honestly, some really great directorial choices from just the way the series is set up, the way that everything looks, the colors, the everything, top to bottom. The aesthetic of the show was consistent and coherent. It was really the plot. I mean, at the end of the day, like the one thing, even the action was great. I mean, the pacing was even pretty good for even though the plot kind of got messy in the back end. The pacing kind of stayed track all the way through. It really was just the plot that fell apart for me. That's really where and unfortunately, like with a show like this, like if the plot falls apart, it just makes it really hard to like it still. Like it makes it hard to like just to still be on board, because even though everything felt okay in the back half, I was getting really bored in the back half. I was just like, oh fuck. I was like, this is not, I didn't sign up for this.
I feel like the last last 2 episodes, like it felt like it dragged on.
Yes, I was pretty much ready for it to be over.
Long. Yeah,
because when didn't they get to the Kanto to save the kids? Okay,
2 episodes before the end.
They like got the kids to Kanto, then like on their way back, they saved them, like got them back, and then they like immediately got them and started taking them back to Kanto, and then started taking. It was like just this weird, and I think that's when that was another messy part of the pacing. The only messy part of the pacing was the whole plot was just back and forth and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it did it like 3 or 4 times. And yeah, by the last time that it was happening, I was like, man, this is played, this is done. Like, they're hiding again in the rubble again. And now they're running again, and okie dokie. But I will admit, Courier putting his arm up to that laser beam that comes off the front of his thing and blasting that freaking spaceship out of the sky.
That was pretty. That whole interaction, that whole battle was pretty dope. Pretty hype. It's pretty hype.
The captain of the executioners, whatever, like blasting his head open because he just didn't know how to handle the like uprising. Pretty cool. There was some cool.
Also a point of clarification. So the main city is Kansai. Kanto is the city where like that atomic bomb or whatever happened, and it's just like bullshit floating.
Oh, okay. I thought that they referred to the computer place as Kanto, but I guess is that over my head right now?
That's
right. That's that area, but like, the cyberpunk city, like where the most of like the place is set, that's Kansai. Yeah.
The main story is happening in Kansai. They're traveling to Kanto. Yeah. That's sort of the end goal because they're trying to get the kids from Kansai to Kanto, and that's how the story opens. Is they're led to a train where the kids are being transported to Kanto, and they get the kids off the train and they start moving back towards Kansai.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and then it's I never mind. I almost made a White House.
Let's go ahead.
Let me say one last thing, okay?
Okay.
Stop having female character development just be them cutting their hair. It worked in Final Fantasy IX.
That's so fucking stupid. I hated that. I was
worked in Naruto a little bit. Ever since then, stop doing it. Stop doing it.
It's such a cop.
Whenever Dagger did it, it was cool. Okay? Whenever Dagger did it, it was cool. Now, not cool.
Sakura did it? Okay, I'll give it to her.
She did it, and Sakura had to do it because she was being held by her hair.
Yeah, that was
when Nino did it in quintessential quintuplets?
No,
Shut
not
up.
good.
Stop.
That's a very recent spoiler, David.
Spoiler,
David,
sorry.
I haven't watched it yet.
Watch quintessential quintuplets.
That's like this week's episode.
I will. Okay. Beside the point, David, your focus is off. Dude.
There you go.
That was weird. That was weird. That was random. Okay. So the point, let's go ahead and rate Akudama Drive. Man, I'm going to give a really disappointing rating. It really fell apart for me a lot in a way that I just am not happy about. So on 3, guys, what are we going to rate it? 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay.
I gave it 7. All right. Wait. What did you say, Jerry?
7.
I went for a 5. I went for a solid 5.
Okay.
This was much worse than most of the stuff we've watched, unfortunately. And I feel so bad suggesting it so strongly after episode 1. But episode 1, I really felt good about it. By the end of the series, I really felt bad about it.
It looked great. It sounded great. Like, a lot of the stuff was cool.
Yeah.
But the story just, started making no sense. And you were like, this is only 12 episodes.
It should make sense. This should be coherent.
I think I've said 7. I think even though the plot is kind of booty near the end, the lead up to before the plot starts tanking was a really fun ride, and all the characters were still really cool, really unique.
I like Brawler. I like Hoodlum. I really did. I liked both those characters.
Yeah. Maybe not unique as in like new-ish, but like you could tell each of them had like some kind of specific goal or some specific theme surrounding them. And
I'll give you that.
I like the designs, the music, everything else was good. Only thing for me was plot, so I thought 7 makes a little sense for me.
I really didn't like the second opening for the show either. I liked the first opening a lot, but then when it switched openings halfway through, I was like, "Why did it?"
I thought it was
did you guys even realize that? No, there was 2 openings.
Oh, like visually.
No. It was a different song. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was the same.
I thought
it
was the same opening and ending throughout the whole.
Oh, maybe it just changed the video.
The picture changed though after she cut her hair. Yeah.
No, the video definitely changed. Maybe the song didn't change. For some reason, I was less happy with it when the video changed. Then, because I was like,
I didn't think it was a great opening song to begin with.
The opening is okay.
I kind of liked it in the first.
It was okay.
Like I remember at first I was kind of excited about it. Okay, yeah, it's just opening version 2. So yeah, it just switched content without changing the song.
I think I like the ending song more. It's like nice and soothing.
Yeah.
I like the ending song was okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a 5 for me. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh on it, but it just disappointed me so much by the end that I felt harshly about it.
Jared, there's no wrong answer, man.
It's definitely worse than Great Pretender. You know what I mean? But it's definitely better than Tower of God. Like in my mind, that's the best way I can place it. It's worse than Great Pretender, worse than Great Pretender, but better than Tower of God.
Yeah, but I really like Great Pretender. So
that's a very wide window, Jerry.
Yeah.
I know, but like the upper level of shows we've watched, like Vinland Saga and Beastars and
Great Pretender.
And
JoJo's.
no, not for me. But we've talked about Beastars and Vinland Saga and Erased on this podcast, which are 8s, 9s, 10s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This show is like quite a bit worse than those. But it's definitely not on. It's not Dookie Sandwich Log Horizon or. At least the show has a clear beginning, middle, and
season
end.
3 of that, bro.
Do you though?
There's already 4 episodes out. I got to catch up. I watched it all. I have to now.
I can't.
That's just how I am. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We're doing pretty good. Let's talk about Tonikawa. Fly me to the moon, boys.
So
Fly me
Tonikawa
to the moon.
is about,
Yeah, Kenny.
NASA and his newly wedded wife. What's her name?
Tsukasa.
Tsukasa.
Mm-hmm.
And then just
his newly wedded tsundere.
Tsundere.
Yes.
Oh no, I don't think she's not tsundere.
She's pretty like.
The definition of a tsundere is a character that is like pulled away at first and then slowly like opens up. That's like the definition of a tsundere type.
She says yes to marry
Tonikawa-
him straight from the beginning. Okay.
Right, but she's very like secretive at first, and then slowly is like, I like movies and art. You know what I mean?
She
Like,
calls him dear like the second they start like talking.
Yeah.
but
that's
that
not.
doesn't.
Tsundere is like, oh, you.
No,
They like hide their emotions
It's
through
like Vegeta, bro. Vegeta be pretending like he doesn't like Goku at all until like.
I
fucking
will
Majin
argue
Buu.
that Tonikawa or Tsukasa's character development throughout the show is pretty inarguably
she's
tsundere-esque.
I would say maybe a little bit, but not like Vegeta is the epitome of what a tsundere is, right?
Literally, let me read you the definition. A tsundere is a Japanese term for a character development process that depicts a character with a personality who's initially polarized, warm/soft, cold, temperamental, or hot-headed, and sometimes even a little hostile, before gradually showing a warmer, friendlier side over time.
Tsukasa was none
That
of
is
those things,
literally-
though.
I
She
would
was
say
never hostile.
she's never hostile.
The only time we see her hostile is when she's playing video games.
Literally, in the opening, like 3-4 episodes, she is completely cold. She is temperamental. She's the only one she's not hot-headed or hostile, whatever you want to call that.
She moves in with
But
him, calls
She's
him
very
dear.
Jerry,
polarized.
she's
in
not
episode 3.
tsundere.
Bro, this is not. Bro, come on.
She's more mysterious than I would say like tsundere. Like she's like maybe
she's
even
mysterious.
like a type of timid,
No, I
like
think she
shy.
fits this. I think she fits this description like.
Okay, type in.
People call
Tonikawa.
Asuka. People call Asuka tsundere from
Asuka is
Evangelion.
because she's
No.
like mean. She's mean to Shinji.
If Asuka is a tsundere, then absolutely Tsukasa is.
Vegeta is a tsundere. Okay,
Oh my god.
think of Vegeta in the Frieza saga.
Let's see if anyone else feels the same as me.
Get in the comments. Get in the comments.
Let's see.
If you think Tsukasa from Tonikawa was a tsundere, go ahead and voice your
All right.
opinion down there.
On the Tonikawa fandom wiki, so this is very
Lord.
reliable.
Okay.
At first,
Okay.
Tsukasa appears to act very cool, calm, and level-headed, seemingly unsurprised by NASA's rash and illogical actions. Despite this, she agreed to marry NASA and does love him very dearly. None of that sounds like tsundere.
Tsundere to me.
I think that is exactly, well, maybe it's a little off, but I do think it's pretty close.
Cool, calm, and level-headed?
Yeah. That's kind of the definition of tsundere. The cool and calm part is definitely included in almost every definition of a tsundere.
No, cold is what. Like they're intentionally like. I don't know.
You guys are just. I think you're falling
character.
into like that they're mean and then they're nice. Like that's what you're like. I think it's getting too like caught up in like they're mean and they're nice.
Well, not even like mean,
but I think
I would
Tsundere
say,
can be,
but like go on.
Cold.
Gary.
I would say like cold. Like
no,
cold
I mean
shoulder type.
Mean and they're nice. I mean that's
I
think a tsundere can be bigger than that. Like I think there's more breadth there, but I don't know. Let's see if
the whole point of having a niche, is I would say Tsukasa acts more like a best girl than she does like a tsundere.
The next, the first thing that I did find someone calling her sister a tsundere though.
Her sister is
tsundere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her sister is like the epitome of a tsundere.
Okay.
But obviously, he's not in a relationship with her.
Let's see here. Well, that's not for sure.
Yeah.
In the later episodes, she starts to develop feelings for him.
Yeah, but that's just anime.
I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying.
It got kind of harem at the end. I know we're kind of jumping around. But...
Okay, fine. If maybe she's the tsundere, you think Tsukasa's more of a best girl?
Tsukasa's a best girl.
She cooks.
I don't know.
She's like understanding. She's nice. She plays video games. She loves. She's
probably
movies.
A robot.
She's best girl.
A robot or alien?
She's probably a robot or an alien or like an ancient being.
I don't know. Why didn't they explain it? Okay,
we got no answers. That's
my biggest gripe for the show. It told me nothing over these hints that they were dropping.
Season 2?
Oh my god.
That's what I hope we learn it then. I don't know though. Yeah, Tonikawa was fun.
Yeah, I mean season 2 is gonna come.
Wait, did we ever tell the synopsis of what happens in
Tonikawa?
They're a cute couple that like loving each other, and it's just about them loving each other. That's the show, okay?
Yeah, that's it. It's cute. Yeah. It's genuine.
It's I mean, it's arguably like very much like it's like My Love Story in some ways.
Yeah, it's just like any romance show. Like it's a little goofier, obviously. It's a comedy.
I guess
show.
like the one like flip of it is like instead of a show about them like leading up to falling in love or whatever, it's a show like they start married and then it's like the rest of it plays out from that point forward. But they still kind of go through some of these like weird like falling in love moments. I don't know.
Yeah, because they just get married. Like she's like
they got married too abruptly, so it's like like whatever. Okay, I gotta take my L for trying to call her a tsundere.
Yeah,
I gotta take my L.
Guys.
I'll take it.
All right, get out of the comments.
This segment of the video is just Jerry takes the L.
Jerry takes the L.
I thought Tsukasa was kind of a tsundere, but maybe I was too broad with my definition of it.
Damn.
I always saw it as much broader. I don't watch anywhere near as much romantic stuff as
Nino's a tsundere.
Kenny's way too into romance anime, so
she's a tsundere.
So if Kenny says it, then I'll take Kenny's as
Romantica
the master
is a tsundere.
God damn it, Kenny, stop! That's enough tsundere.
Ino tsundere.
Nino, I said Nino, bro.
I said Ino from Naruto.
No, bro. Honestly, Sakura is more than tsundere.
Oh yeah.
But
so at its
core, follow romance tropes.
Here's some things about Tonikawa. Animation wise, it's pretty meh. I mean, all the way through. Yeah. Art animation is pretty solidly meh. Understandable for a romance show. I think we can all kind of agree. I mean, it never does anything that really like goes above and beyond. The style is pretty weird sometimes, is what I would say.
Yeah.
Sometimes things look a little off model, and just things look a little like
their feet are so tiny,
and their eyes are so big.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot while I was watching it, but it didn't really throw me off from the show. I think the dialogue, scripting, and comedy is all pretty solid. I think that's what really holds the show together.
Yeah.
Is that each episode is you pretty much get like two. I think most of the episodes were formatted where it's kind of like two stories in each episode, give or take.
Yeah.
Except for kind of the long arc that we got in the middle where they go visit his parents. But for the most part, you kind of get these like half stories before the commercial break in each episode. And overall, it works. It's definitely funny enough to hold itself up, and it's soft enough to still feel just to still feel good. It's got a lot of those feel moments. I'd say like definitely the prime moment for me was like his dad like telling Tsukasa that, like, how grateful he was that he saved, or that she saved his son. I thought that was really well executed.
I shed a tear.
Really well. Yeah, it was a really well executed moment in the middle of this mostly comedy, kind of like fun comedy romance. You kind of have this one solid sentimental moment. It really showed the type of person that Tsukasa was, showed the type of person that his parents are, the type of person NASA is in that moment. Really cool stuff there. It's just not very, I mean, this isn't groundbreaking stuff. The only thing that was really keeping me interested is that just about every episode, there was some sort of hint or mention that Tsukasa was something that she was not. And they just slowly built these little hints in, and there was no payoff.
Yeah.
Just to warn you right now, spoilers, but you don't learn the answer by the end, or even get like a bigger hint.
It doesn't.
Nothing.
Yeah. It
just does nothing. Yeah. I mean, there were so many like random hits.
I mean, they did so many references to space, so she has to be an alien. She has to.
She has to be like Lady whatever from the moon or some shit.
Right.
Oh,
She gotta be a moon person. Lady Kaguya. Right. Yeah.
Some sort of Lady Kaguya moon reference. I mean, there's so many references to the moon. Yes, I think that makes sense. His name's NASA. I think that makes sense if she is an alien. But there's also like, how long has she been on Earth? You guys notice like the clues that were like she had so much random historical knowledge despite not being interested in history or any of that.
Like, I just lived through it.
She read that ancient Japanese book, kind of like casually in his dad's study. What were some of the other hints that they dropped? There were a couple other just like color.
Chitose says some stuff.
Yeah, there's one part where Chitose is talking to her, and Tsukasa's like, I am just an average 16-year-old girl. And she's like, ah! And I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? I don't know. There was just a lot of layering of these sorts of hints, but it just didn't pay off. There was no payoff. So if you were looking for the payoff, it's coming later, I guess. I don't know if the manga... I also just, from the moment I looked the show up, its genre is listed as sci-fi. And I was like, what? I was like, why is it sci-fi? And again, we get no mention as to what the sci-fi component is, at least not in season 1. So if that's what you're looking for in season 1, be prepared that it is just a romance comedy. It's just a romantic comedy.
Yep.
So that's all it is.
I really loved NASA's characterization because you don't often get that in a protagonist because he's quirky. And he's like really smart for some reason. I love the like idea that he was like, oh yeah, I just help this business stay afloat because I know how to run the numbers really well. And like, look, you're just some goofy dude living in your 1-bedroom apartment, and you're like, oh yeah, I can do all this. Like he was like really into his studies whenever he was young. Mm-hmm. I like that characterization of him where he's like just really really capable. Like he's like, oh, I keep everything I own. Like if my apartment were to burn down, I keep everything I own online in the cloud and in this little bag that I carry all the time. So
that's probably the funniest part. He said it like 4 times. He's like, "Oh yeah."
They did a good job with NASA's characterization. I think that it makes you care more about a lot of it. Which with a good like comedy, like you want to care about the characters at least because that's mainly what drives these sorts of shows. Is good characters. And yeah, I totally think there was some good characterizations here. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I like the older sister girl. She was funny. Especially she was like, okay, now that I'm no longer in love with NASA, I'm going to be an online YouTuber. And she like more.
Well, we later learn how good of a freaking Street Fighter player she
was. Not as good as Tsukasa.
Tsukasa's well, the sister was better at Street Fighter 5, but when they pulled out Street Fighter 2, that's when Tsukasa had the.
No, it was Street Fighter 1.
It was Street Fighter 1, where it's just Kid and Ryu.
Is that another hint that she's older than she actually is because she was better at the older games?
Yes, David. Yes.
It's speckled all throughout the show.
And it's all speckled in there. She's clearly. That's why it's like she's some sort of at least older than she seems. Yeah. Something going on there for sure. Love that. But yeah, I love that character as well, Kenny. I thought all the characters were really funny in that circle of friends.
The two main
I don't know.
Funny.
Yeah. So yeah, overall,
it's kind of interesting that there weren't any other because like near the end, as we're introducing more and more characters, I noticed that it like, I was like, is this becoming a harem? Because like all of these girls, like near the end, like the last 2-3 episodes, were just constantly kind of not falling for Nasa, but realizing how good of a person he is, and just like wanting to.
I agree.
Like, just
I'm curious if it's going harem route, or not.
I mean, in general, romance shows to drive a story longer. Like, you can't just have two people happily engaged in. There has to be extraneous factors. That's why there's always another boy.
Yeah, remember in My Love Story when that other girl fell in love with
him?
With the big guy, and there was
the exact same thing happened.
There has to be conflict, and I think that's what's kind of happening here, is that these characters are being introduced to have affection towards the lead characters to create some sort of conflict in a romance story, because without it, I mean, it would just be literally like two people are married. Two people are married just hanging out. Wotakoi kind of did that well.
It never really introduced a secondary,
No,
but
they
obviously
just kind of,
we only got 11 episodes, so
there might be something later, but in what they made of it, it was certainly. But this show needed some of that, and I think that spiced up the back half for sure. Yeah. Gotta say, my favorite opening song of, I mean, I said it when we did the initial review. I like this song so much from Fall. Like, it was just the da 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 da
with that bass drop.
That shit was hot.
Yeah, it was a dope opening.
Yeah,
it was a great opening.
Second to Jujutsu's opening, but
it's tight. I liked Kaikai. I love Kaikai Kitan, but I really like Tonikawa's too.
I think Jujutsu's ending was the standout of this season. If we're
absolutely.
Yeah. Lost in Paradise is hot, dude.
Lost in Paradise.
Oh god, Jujutsu's so good. But yeah, I think with Tonikawa,
dab on him.
It was just very genuine. I don't think I've seen. I think My Love Story is probably the closest to this, but I don't think I've seen a romance anime where it's just a lot of just genuine interaction between the two characters, and we were able to see like quite a bit of conflict between Nasa and Tsukasa, but it was always kind of like a cute resolution, because they would like, Nasa would be like, oh well, I can buy you ice cream, and like, what flavor do you want? And it was just like a lot of cute, genuine moments that watching it made me like, gave me the warm fuzzies. I was like, oh, this is cute. This is enjoyable to see, like two like young teenagers just like not making, their relationship, like none of the focus is on their like physicality or like anything like sexual. Although my boy Nasa was getting a little handsy in that one episode. He was
in the back half,
he was getting a little handsy.
I remember when they gave each other a kiss, and they were laying there when he was not feeling well, and then he was like, he started going over the neck, and I was like,
oh shit!
I missed the grabs me.
You pushed him off.
Yeah.
I was
like, oh.
Like as I was talking about, I remember I was like, oh yeah. Actually, he was getting super handsy, but yeah.
And then also,
it was cute.
It's funny to me because they never. In that one episode, he asked her, he's like, "Can I see you in your underwear?" And she was like, "Yeah, you can." But then we just never got. I mean, like, I don't know. Did she end up showing him in it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Their relationship is cute though, so
yeah, it's very, very pure, like naive from both fronts, which makes it just genuine and pure and cute. So,
absolutely. Let's rate it, boys.
Okay.
Let's rate it in.
Man, 3. I regret giving Akudama Drive a 7. Fuck. I should have given it a 6.
Really high score, bro.
We're going back. Akudama Drive's a 6. Bring it back.
Okay. So
Akudama a 6, not a 7.
No, you gotta take your.
Okay.
He can do a redo. He sat on it. He can do a redo.
No, Jerry. If I make Jerry hold his opinions, I gotta hold mine. Okay.
I thought she was a tsundere. I'm a loser. I'm gonna have to write a comment when I post this. I'm gonna have to put a comment on the YouTube
like a
channel.
disclaimer.
I'm gonna have to like pin it to the top or something. That's like, listen, Jerry admits he was wrong about 10 minutes after he says it, so just don't give him shit down here.
Get in the comments.
No, I admit that I was wrong. Okay.
Oh man. Okay, I think I'm ready.
I took my L. Okay, we ready?
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1.
Wait.
That's pretty. I went 6.5.
Damn.
Kenny went 7, and David went 8.
I think I need to recalibrate my scale, guys. I think I need to recalibrate a little bit.
David's got a high-end scale. He's got a lot of 10s and 9s.
I'm like, okay. Akudama drives a 5. Akudama drives a 5. Tonikawa's a 7. Tonikawa's a 7.
Oh my god.
He's just out here throwing out numbers.
Oh my lord.
The points don't matter.
The points don't matter.
Yeah.
Well, great guys, that was awesome, and we're running pretty short today, which is fine. We're not going to try to keep you listening for that much longer, guys.
We may end up being a little shorter in general. Just
for those of you listening right now, I hope you've enjoyed what we've been bringing here at the Uncensored Anime Podcast. If you do enjoy what you're listening to, then please, please, please jump on YouTube, jump on Spotify, jump on Apple Podcasts, jump on Anchor, jump on Instagram, jump on Twitter. Support us, give us a follow, give us a like, give us a 5-star review. Do all of that if you can. It helps the channel so much because the more interaction we get, the more that our stuff gets pumped into other feeds. And that's just the way it works. So we try to post more so we can get more interactions, so we can get more of you guys talking and listening to what we're doing here on the Uncensored Anime Podcast. So if you're digging it, then that's what you got to do. Show us that love because it's totally free. Giving us a like on this video or giving us a comment down below or literally like going and give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, that is totally free. It's just a little bit of your time. So if you enjoyed this, if this entertained you at all, then please help us out. Help spread what we're doing here because we hope to keep bringing you guys some high, in-depth anime reviews. We are definitely still trying to shift content. We don't want to just do anime reviews every week because we realize that sometimes people don't want to listen if it's a show they've never watched. Or they have to watch the show before they can listen. So, and that's fine. We try to warn people what we're watching ahead of time. But totally, we understand that. We want to try to get more of our fun episodes like we did with The Dark Sage, like we had with AJ the Awakened Sage, Nakama Collectibles, my wife Alyssa, Mikey. We've had a lot of guests on over the course of our first kind of half of our first season kind of doing this. So we want to get more guests on, and we want to have more fun, have more time to just chat with you all. So go follow us on all those platforms. I already did a live reading of literally every chapter of Chainsaw Man. So if you tune into that, we want to do more stuff like that too. And we'll try our best to do more random stuff. We just did a tier list with our buddy, the Dark Sage Collections over on his Twitch stream. And anytime we do stuff like that, we'll try to do better of announcing it. We didn't put it on any of our socials, so only his fans were kind of over there for that. But we'll probably do more stuff. Maybe watch some anime with Chase. Maybe do some more stuff on our own Twitch channel. But definitely, if you're digging what you're like, if you're digging what you're hearing, give us some support, give us some love. It helps and goes a long way. David, Kenny, you guys have anything to say?
You know what? Love you, listeners. We're gonna like Jerry's saying, we're gonna keep pushing out content. We're hoping that you're enjoying what you're listening to so far, and just keep on looking out for bigger, better things coming out from us in the future.
Yep. Tune in next week whenever we open a ton of Pokemon cards. Okay, that's what we do now.
We will never stoop to that level. We will never stoop to that level.
No. We definitely want to bring you guys. We probably won't be doing a review next week. We might not.
Oh, actually, we're reviewing a show next week. It's called Vampire Night. Okay,
Done
about Vampire Night.
We are holding true. If we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, 1,000 subscribers, we have 50 subscribers right now. If we can hit 1,000 subscribers, we will watch all of Vampire Night live streamed on Twitch. And then we will post a full-blown, in-depth, Uncensored Anime Podcast style review of every episode of Vampire Night. So if you want to see that happen, if you want to see us suffer through Vampire Night to give you guys this high-grade content, help pump us up to 1,000 subscribers. That is the goal. If we can get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, we will pump out a Vampire Night review. Kenny's going to watch it all live.
Vampire Night.
8 hours of Kenny watching Vampire Night.
Put it on, Kenny. I'll watch it with you, Kenny.
Cheesy poofs, everything.
Yeah.
Next,
we'll watch Fushigi Yugi next, okay?
Oh my lord.
That's a classic right there.
But for real,
classic right there.
But legitimately, everyone who's listening, thank you so much. Hope you guys enjoyed. We will hopefully see you next week. This is the Uncensored. That was terrible. I can't believe I just plugged podcast. This is the Vampire Night. No, this is the Uncensored Anime Podcast, and we are saying peace.